Morning, welcome to another Crafting with Em, and today I'm going to show you how to make a placard for going on marches and things, because there's lots of stuff going on in the town at the moment and I kind of want to get involved with that, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that as we're going along. So as always, we are very much reduce, reuse, recycle. So I have here a panel from a cardboard box that I've used, and I've painted it white just with some emulsion that I had knocking around the house, and I've let that dry so that we can crack on with the making, and I can talk to you a little bit more about that. So I've just got some red paint. I put a little bit of Payne's grey in it because I had some of that knocking around, because I didn't want a happy red, I wanted a Scorsese red. Cameron Diaz fans out there will like that one. Right, here we go. So part of the reason for doing this, and I've never made a placard before, and I couldn't really find anything that was particularly helpful online. So what I have done is put some roughly words on there, but really it is about just going with the flow and seeing what you feel like. And normally these are nice and bright and airy, but this latest thing with the swans, it's just all too much. It's just all too much. They're here, and last year we had all the swans here, and now the swans are gone, and people saying that they're eating them. Well, I don't think they're eating them. I think, it's all right when it starts off being about newts and frogs and toads and bat eyes and everything else. But when they start taking the king's swans, God save the king. God save the king. I'm not keen on her, but God save the king. They belong to them, and they're taking them, and they're taking the swans, and we know it's not to eat them, don't we? We know. Oh, Mr. Hopkins, he knows what he's on about. There's the trials in the town tomorrow, and that's what this is for. That's where we're going, because I'm fed up with stuff being taken from us. They come here and it's just, they're just taking over, and it's not good enough. And I know people saying it's conspiracy theories and this and it, but it can't be that all the time, can it? Look at the swans, right? We didn't have any of this nonsense in the town last year, and we had loads and loads of swans. Loads and loads of swans. This year, they're here now, and they're here in abundance, and they keep coming, and swans are gone. Now, it's been very difficult for me to see the swans on the canal and that this year because of all the pipework stuff that's going on, and I've had to really go over the other side to look for them. And people say it's disturbance, and it's not. It's not. Now, I'm going to have to wipe this down a bit because I'm just getting cross with the whole thing, and it's just not quite working the way that I wanted it to. But you'll get the gist. You'll get the gist. And you can always come and join me on the march tomorrow. Now, it's very clear what the law says. If they're found guilty, and it'll be a fair trial. Oh, Mr. Hopkins. Now, Mr. Hopkins, he's my hairdresser's brother's sister-in-law's cousin, knows him really well. And he's a very down-to-earth man, and he wouldn't be sending us off in the wrong direction. And if he says they're here, and this is bringing them to trial, then they're here. They're here. So this is just a rough going over the first time. I'm going to have to go over this again and put a second layer down. But it really is time that we start reclaiming things for ourselves. Sorry, I've got a bit of a runny nose there. Getting passionate. We really do have to start reclaiming things for us. Reclaiming our streets. Getting things to come over. It really is time. It really is time. We have to start claiming back our own heritage. Stop these people coming in with their ways and causing all of this trouble. We didn't have any of this trouble before they turned up, when we had all the swans. Now it's the swans that are key to this. It was all right. It was all right with bats and eyes of newts and toes of frogs. Nobody turned an eye, a bat's eye, a thing. Sorry, the cat's coming into picture. Anyway, first coat's on. I'll give you a quick look at this, and then we can see where we can go from there. I didn't know how windy it's going to be tomorrow. So it's handheld size, but if not, normally you'd have a piece of wood, but I haven't got a piece of wood to hand. So what I was going to use was my broom. I was going to use my broomstick Lily to pop along the back of this. I do love Lily, named after Lily Savage, but obviously, drag queens, we're not going to go down that route, because obviously with all the stuff that's going on in America with them and that, so and that's a thing for another day. So anyway, let me just show you what we've got so far. As I say, work in progress, still a bit wet paint. There we go. Can you see? Now the law is very clear. It's a capital offence. And I know they do other things up in Scotland, but this is what we do here. What was that? Sorry, what was that? What do you mean I spelt it wrong? Oh, what do you mean I spelt it wrong? I checked this on spell check. Oh, now there's a knock at the door. Can you go to the door and see who's out there? Who is it, John? What do you mean it's someone from the Witchfinder General's office? What do they want? Oh, for God's sake. Oh. Hello? What do you mean? Well, yes, there was that post on Facebook. Yes, keep your friends close and your enemies in your cauldron. It was a joke. No, it was a joke. Yes, reflexology, but I've got City and Guilds. I'll get my certificate. Yes, what do you mean odd socks? Of course, what's wrong with wearing odd socks? Nothing wrong with wearing odd socks. No, I've got City and Guilds. No, it was a joke. Honestly, it was a joke. I didn't mean it. No, please. Please, no.